Good morning, everyone. My name is Shelley Hill, and I'm on the pre-sales team at Identity Experts. My background is as an identity consultant. To give you a quick introduction to us, at Identity Experts, we specialize in identity and security technology, particularly identity and access management. We deploy on-premise solutions as well as cloud platforms such as Azure AD and the Enterprise Mobility and Security Stack. We have worked with various NHS trusts, and there is a case study on our website for Doncaster and Bassett Law teaching hospitals if you're interested in what we did for them. So that's a quick overview of us. I'm here today to talk about identity and access management and overcoming the joiner, mover, leaver challenges in the NHS, giving the right people the right access at the right time. You'll see a Q&A panel to your right, so feel free to ask questions and we'll go through them at the end. So, what is identity and access management? The right people are your joiners, someone new to your hospital. You want to give them the right access. They need a login ID, email, file storage, and they also need access to particular applications with a particular level of access. And they need it on their first day. Now, this process is mostly manual for many organizations, which wastes time, effort, money, and it causes significant security issues because it leaves accounts potentially unaccounted for. But the reality is that everyone is busy, and Christmas is perhaps one of those busiest times. And those are the times you really don't want the system to fail. Now, let's talk about the current processes for joiners, movers, and leavers for general staff. We're talking doctors, nurses, admin staff, people employed by the hospital. When a new user joins, there is paperwork, new starter forms to fill in, processes that rely on the appropriate IT staff to be available. And these processes take time. Now, your new user, they've managed to get a login ID and password, but what about access to specialty systems? You fill in another form, you have it approved, and you rely on someone else to process the request. Now, some of you might have scripts in place that will partially automate some of the behavior. Some of you might also be using Novell IDM as part of streamlining your process. But how many people know how to navigate the bespoke system that is currently in place, the scripts, the legacy systems? What if something happens to the one person that actually knows what automation is happening, if any? Now, part of the problem with automating the JML process is that ESR, the NHS Electronic Staff Record, it's been a stumbling block for integrating with IT systems. Making ESR communicate with identity management platforms has made the automation process a real challenge because getting the information from ESR in a consumable format has been so complex and limiting. But what if we could make the onboarding process of staff an automated process? What if using a new employee's record in an authoritative source, such as ESR, your new employee could automatically have a login account, an email created on their first day, and then based on an attribute in ESR, such as their department or role, they could automatically be given access to specific applications. And if that person's department or role was to change, their profile and account access would be updated. And if that person leaves the hospital, then their account can be automatically made inactive. So this automated process increases security because account access is updated when ESR is updated. It increases productivity and minimizes administrative tasks because the onboarding process is streamlined. Now, as ideal as this sounds, the reality remains that we still need ESR to talk to other systems for this to be possible. So let me introduce you to ESR Connect. We have been working hard investing our time on the ESR connector. Originally, it was Microsoft Identity Manager specific, but it is now a standalone tool and available on an annual subscription license. ESR Connect allows you to integrate your HR data into your identity management solution efficiently and accurately, which means you can improve current processes and potentially even leverage recruitment data. Now, we have a very high-level diagram here. ESR Connect pulls the ESR file via FTP into a SQL instance, so you can have a view of all your employees. It's bi-directional, so you can actually feed information back to ESR, like email addresses or usernames. And then using this view of your employees, you can run your own scripts to automate accounts, or you can connect to MIM to do a complete identity management JML solution. Some of you already have a MimSync instance in place. It comes free with a Windows Server license, so for some trusts, it makes sense to utilize it. Okay, so we've spoken about how we streamline the onboarding process for employees by using ESR Connect and MIM. Think of this as phase 1, getting employee accounts automatically created and maintained efficiently. This could be your identity foundation. Now, phase 2, the non-employees, the others. I appreciate there are many staff accounts or account types, more than what was listed here, but bank staff, locums, volunteers, some of these people may end up in ESR eventually, but there are many that won't. What if you could streamline and secure the lifecycle of these accounts also? Locums and bank staff, they are obviously going to be turning up almost unannounced, and out of necessity, they could end up using someone else's credentials to do their job. So when staff without accounts turn up to work to do their job, they might need access to, say, patient files. And they need it now, today, because they're here working today. But it doesn't have to be IT staff that deals with this alone. It can empower the managers, empower the users. By using MIM Portal, you can allow users or managers to create accounts as and when they're needed. There are approval workflows and logic to ensure that identity and data integrity so that accounts are created with appropriate controls. It empowers the end users and might discourage unfavorable and unsecure practices, such as the sharing of credentials that we mentioned earlier. The portal could be used to create all the other account types that don't fit the ESR criteria, or for when there's a delay in the ESR entry. So a member of staff could create a user account in minutes and have it approved by their manager. And if that person eventually ends up in ESR, then their profile would link to the ESR record so that they wouldn't end up with a duplicate account, which is quite important from an identity management point of view. The same portal can be used to allow staff to request their own access to a group or application. So approval workflows ensure that the appropriate authorization occurs. Once approved, access is granted immediately. If there's a log of who's coming in or out of the hospital that's updated by somebody that does resourcing, so if there's let's say a database or table that gets updated, MIM can pull that data and create the accounts automatically based on that resourcing log. Now, I appreciate there is also a doctor intake and departure every August and February. So MIM can do a bulk upload of doctors, and this could be done multiple ways, but it could be as simple as a bulk upload of a CSV file. So MIM could import the CSV file and create the accounts en masse. Each of these roles, they all have their own nuances and complexities, but basically the moral of the story is, if you have a record of these people coming in, if it's recorded somewhere, then we can pull it into MIM, and if not, then we can use the portal to empower end users. Now, IT staff as administrators can still have visibility and ultimate control, but it alleviates the pressures of the day-to-day manual tasks. Now, the MIM portal does require additional licensing per CAL if you don't have an Azure AD P1 license or above. But if you have a workshop with us, then we can work out those logistics. So the MIM portal also has the self-service password reset function. It allows users to reset their own password, and it just negates the need to call IT support if they forget their password. And the return on investment for SSPR and automating the join or move or leave process can be calculated by working out how many account-related requests are you processing each day So that could be create requests or password reset requests, access requests. How many minutes are spent on each of these requests on average? And then work out how much does it cost to support those requests over the course of a year. I think you'd end up being quite surprised at the total cost of that support. If you take a look at what your current processes are, and take note of the pain points, the limitations, the security risks, the administrative costs, and then you compare that with an automated joiner, mover, leaver process. Empowerment of the end users to fulfill their immediate needs within the bounds of a controlled and authorized environment. The right people getting the right access at the right time. If you take note of the problems you're experiencing now and make a New Year's resolution step in alleviating some of those issues before this time next year. Even phase 1, which is an economical first step to automating stuff, it sets a good foundation to build on. Now, if you're already using Azure and have Azure licensing or Office 365, then we can assist in the integration of all of these systems, leaving you with an integrated, single sign-on, secure environment. Now, if you do go down the road of ESR Connect, you won't be left to your own devices if your system goes down. We have support packages in place. There are 3 levels. The first being a basic support contract to help with MEM and Azure AD Connect solutions, which includes phone and email support. So you just pick up the phone and speak to us for troubleshooting or in general guidance. The second level, intervention, builds on that support and has infinite intervention hours so we can intervene remotely for the bigger challenges. And then there's the third level, which is a managed service where we monitor and maintain your system as well as fix any issues that might arise. Next steps. So get in touch if you're interested in ESR Connect. Book a workshop. One of our solution architects will spend the day exploring your current environment, and out of it you'll get a strategy for moving forward and a recommended approach. Now, if you have any questions that you've posted on the Q&A, we will get to those. Oh, no, I am having trouble seeing those. So we will have a look at them individually and email all participants the answers if they're relevant to everybody. Thank you very much for listening today. Please do get in touch if you would like to talk to us about anything you've heard, and look forward to hearing from you soon. Bye.